educator at heart. Thank you. We are so excited to be here. Obviously, I'm not Mayor Wu, but I am the proud principal of the William Blackstone School. We are so excited to be the host site for this press event, and just are so overwhelmed by all of you coming out today, a full house, and so we are very delighted to have you here. I just want to say thank you for coming, and we have exciting news, and so I'm not going to stay up here long, but you didn't come to see me, as good as I look. But I do want to say thank you to all of the community members here, to all of my students here in faculty, and of course members of the press. And so without further ado, I will turn it over to the mayor's office.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. My name is Marta Rivera. I am the Commissioner of the Boston Centers for Youth and Families. I want to thank Principal Daniel for hosting us this morning. We have a long-standing and very lengthy partnership with the Boston Public Schools. The Boston Centers for Youth and Families are in 15, co-located in 15 public schools, so we are grateful for that partnership. And you're standing in one of them. It serves as a school as well as a community center that's been here since 1970s. It is full of history, and the students that are here, some of the adults in the room were in those seats, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. So we are thrilled to be here to make this exciting announcement this morning in a place that has so much history and that is such an asset in the community and has been a safe haven for many people in this room and generations. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to our Mayor, Michelle Wu.
First, I want to do a sound check. Can everyone hear us okay? It sounds good? Okay, thank you. This is a big, big room, and there are some very important people sitting with us here. And I just want to echo the fact that where you are now, all of our students from the Blackstone, you are wrapped around with the energy, the love, the stories, and the history of so many who have come before all of us, who've been fighting to make sure that this moment, where you are sitting right now, is connected with the best possible future and what our city owes to you. So we are excited that today we can put a little bit of detail behind that and show some real steps and progress thanks to the hard work of amazing people. It's been a long, we do a lot of these press conferences where we get to share news and information with the city, and sometimes there's a small number of us here. It's been a while since we've had a press conference with this many cabinet officials, elected officials, community partners, and it is because the topic is you all. It's our young people and how we can do everything possible to make this city for you. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I should go through and introduce every single person. Okay, we have cabinet chiefs. Okay, you know what? This is not detachable. So we're going to just ask everyone to shout. I want you to hear who each of these amazing people are in just a quick snippet. We actually have cabinet members who are sitting up in the audience too, so they're all around. But just so you have a sense of who you matter to and who's been involved in making sure that this city will be the best possible for young people. You heard from our amazing principal, Chief Idawu.
Good morning, Shagat Idawu, Chief of Economic Opportunity and Improvement.
Good morning, Rashad Hope with the Work and Empowerment Cabinet and Youth Engagement and Employment.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ruth Wujan, at-large City Councilor. Happy to be with you all.
Good morning, Reverend Mariama White-Hammond, over the Environment, Energy, and Open Space Cabinet.
Pedro Cruz, the Director of Office for Youth Engagement and Investment.
Good morning, Abigail Forrest, the Executive Director for the Center for Teen Empowerment.
Hi everyone, Chris Smith, Boston After School and Beyond.
Good morning everyone, Jose Masso, Chief of Human Services, City of Boston.
Good morning, everyone. Mary Skip
Skipper, proud superintendent BPS.
Good morning, Robert Lewis Jr., President and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston.
David Shapiro of the YMCA of Greater Boston.
Buenos dias, Daphne Principe Griffin with United Way.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Masillo of the QT Boston Public Health Commission.
Michael Colson, Project Right.
I just want to shout out our cabinet members who could, this cluster right here. Can you just introduce yourself too?
Hello, Brad Malloy, Chief of Community Engagement.
David Leonard, President of Boston Public Library.
Oh, okay, Tiffany and Erica, and then I think we'll get to Oh, sorry, one more Henry in the back. Okay, so this is a snapshot of all the ways in which we're plugging in all we got for young people in the city, and the folks that you just heard introduce themselves, who are making important decisions, who are driving what happens in the city of Boston. They include BCYF kids, BPS kids, YMCA kids, kids from every neighborhood, and so we're just keeping these seats warm for you all to step into it. So thank you again to Principal Daniels, to Director Torres of the BCYF Center, and of course those who are hosting us here, and the many, many folks who work every day for the City of Boston and our youth organizations. We know that a healthy city is one that doesn't just understand the importance of empowering its young people, but takes action to invest, and to do that with urgency. That's why today, we are so excited to announce two major investments our team is making to expand supports for young people across Boston. First, we are putting in place the people power to make sure that we're always thinking 100% of the time about what comes next following the lead of our young people. So number one, we're creating a new Office of Youth Engagement and Advancement to be housed within our Human Services Cabinet. And second, the city will be distributing $1.5 million through this year's Youth Development Fund to 60 nonprofit organizations focused on supporting and empowering our young people throughout the city. So a little bit more detail. This new Office of Youth Engagement and Advancement, also known as OYEA, will recognize the essential role of our young people in our city's success today and into the future. That's why OYEA will focus on ensuring that our young people's voices are a part of every decision that we make in Boston, advocating and supporting the development of our students and young people, helping coordinate youth programming across Boston, including through the Youth Development Fund, conducting the city's first ever survey of youth, and organizing the Boston Youth Summit. Through the Youth Development Fund, the city awards grants to nonprofits dedicated to creating more opportunities for our next generation of leadership. These organizations encourage our young people to explore, express, and create through the arts, to grow comfortable and confident in their own lives and in their communities through sports and teamwork, and to develop important professional and leadership skills to prepare them for fulfilling, well-paying jobs and careers in this city. Last year alone, the Youth Development Fund helped uplift more than 6,000 young people across Boston. And we're hoping to empower even more this year with the largest investment that Boston has ever made in this field. We want to be clear that Boston is a city committed to our growth and future being built on a foundation of investments in our young people. You all are a critical part of that foundation, and we always want to center people first in the decisions that Boston makes. This is something that our very first Director of Youth Engagement and Advancement champions every day. I am so excited to be welcoming Pedro Cruz, to join our Human Services Cabinet in this important leadership role. And sorry, I messed up the surprise by making everyone introduce themselves, but double down. A lifelong Boston resident, Pedro has been building relationships that center, celebrate, and inspire our young people for the last 15 years. The last 7 of which has been at Inquilinos Boricuas en Acción, IBA. We want to thank Vanessa, Calderon Rosado for her leadership there, and the team. Pedro knows better than most the power of these programs because years before he became the director of the Youth Development Program at IBA, he was a young person whose life was changed as a participant in that very same organization and community. We are so excited to welcome Pedro to the city, and in his new role as director of this office, he'll work closely with our Chief of Human Services, Jose Masso, and our entire team. Together, these decades of experience and leadership, serving, representing, working alongside our communities and our young people will be channeled into building the next foundation for our city, investing in people today as a source of strength for tomorrow. Okay, so next up is going to be Chief Masso, pero otra vez en español primero. Buenos días y gracias a todos. Sabemos que una ciudad sana es una ciudad que no solo entiende la importancia de capacitar a sus jóvenes, sino que toma medidas para invertir en ellos con la urgencia que se merecen. Por eso, hoy me alegra anunciar 2 importantes inversiones que estamos realizando para ampliar nuestras ayudas a los jóvenes de todo Boston. Primero, vamos a crear una nueva oficina de participación y promoción de la juventud que se ubicará dentro de nuestro gabinete de servicios humanos. También, repartiremos $1,5 millones de dólares a través del Fondo de Desarrollo Juvenil de este año entre 60 organizaciones sin ánimo de lucro dedicadas a ayudar a los jóvenes de nuestra ciudad. La nueva Oficina de Participación y Promoción de la Juventud reconoce la importancia fundamental de los jóvenes para el éxito de la ciudad hoy y en el futuro. Por eso, la oficina se enfocará en garantizar que la voz de nuestros jóvenes forme parte de cada decisión que tomemos, defender y apoyar el desarrollo de nuestros jóvenes, ayudar a coordinar la programación juvenil en todo Boston, realizando la primera encuesta sobre la juventud de la ciudad y organizando la Cumbre de la Juventud de Boston. A través de nuestro Fondo de Desarrollo Juvenil, el gobierno municipal ofrece subvenciones a organizaciones sin ánimo de lucro dedicadas a crear más oportunidades para nuestra próxima generación de líderes. Solo el año pasado, el fondo ayudó a mejorar la situación de más de 6,000 jóvenes de Boston. Y esperamos que este año sea aún más gracias a la mayor inversión que la ciudad ha hecho en el fondo. Queremos dejar claro que Boston es una ciudad comprometida con su crecimiento y su futuro basado en la inversión en su gente, nuestra gente, y en nuestros jóvenes. Me emociona dar la bienvenida a Pedro Cruz para que se una a nuestro gabinete de servicios humanos. Residente en Boston de toda la vida, Pedro lleva muchos años creando relaciones que centran, celebran y inspiran a nuestros jóvenes. Los últimos 7 años los he servido en Inquilinos Boricuas en Acción, pero conoce mejor que nadie el poder de estos programas porque años antes de convertirse en director del programa de desarrollo juvenil de IBA, él mismo fue un joven al que cambió la vida como participante en ese programa. Junto con nuestro jefe de servicios humanos, Jose Masso, los dos cuentan con décadas de experiencia al servicio de nuestras comunidades y nuestros jóvenes y trabajando con ellos para construir una ciudad que invierta hoy en su gente como fuente de fortaleza para el mañana. Gracias a todos. Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here today, and now I get to pass it on to our Chief of Human Services, Jose Masso.
Thank you so much, Mayor Wu. Good morning. Buenos dias. This feels good. This feels good. This feels right. Oh, yeah. I would like to first start by extending my gratitude to those that made today possible. Our team at BCYF, Marco Torres, Sandy, the other teams from BCYF as well, Commissioner, of course, and from those from BPS, Principal Daniels, the educators, the teachers, and of course the students. Additionally, I'd like to just extend it to my team, Lisa, Janessa, Ephraim, Dana, and Justin. And also a big shout out to the staff who have been leading the Mayor's Youth Council for this period of time. They're also in the crowd, Janae, Dan, Lindsay. I don't think I see Ozzy, but also want to give recognition to Deputy Chief Rashad Cope for his stewardship and all the work that he's done throughout the years as well. So thank you. So it is such a pleasure to be here today with all of you in attendance. I want to thank you all because you understand the importance of being here in community. This extends beyond your professional capacity, your job titles or your roles, or the organizations you represent. This is true, authentic engagement and partnership, and I am honored to have you in attendance for this special occasion. The announcements made today fill me with a great sense of pride and hope for our city. It is special for many reasons. It's a full circle moment for some of us, a reunion for many of us, and a celebration for all of us. It's almost cliche to say this, but you hear it all the time. Today's young people are tomorrow's leaders. So many of the challenges that we face today as a city, whether it's climate change, income inequality, or the lack of affordable housing, are being felt by young people today. This office will ensure that youth voice is uplifted, not only when it's convenient or a token opportunity, yet at every juncture. That our most marginalized youth, those who are unhoused, those with disabilities dealing with challenges of our built environment, or those aging out of foster care, are seen and heard with the deliberate intention to engage in city government. From my days as a youth worker and coming up in the youth development space, what I know to be true is that when young people are engaged in helping us solve the problems of our day, we will always be more successful. Making investments today in healthy development and leadership skills will make Boston stronger now and into the future. My vision for OYEA is for Boston to continue to be a leader in the youth empowerment space, and that is why I'm excited to be able to introduce the inaugural leader of OYEA. Now, some history here. I'm going to age myself with this, but I met Pedro Cruz 23 years ago when I was a lifeguard here at the Blackstone, and he was all about 11 or 12 years old. He and his three brothers would give me a handful of fits. Pedro would be quick to crack jokes, but he always knew when to get everyone together when it was time to get serious, and I always appreciated that. And just to give you a snippet of what it is I had to deal with, his youngest brother's nickname was No-No. So you know with a nickname like that, he was prone to doing things that he was not supposed to do. But he was one of my strongest swimmers as well. They had a bunch of energy, as they should at a young age. There's a lot of freedom and joy that comes with swimming, so it was my job to harness that energy and to steer it in a positive direction. And the easiest way for me to do that was to have them swim laps and have them do it competitively as well. And from there, I was able to start our very first swim team, the Blackstone Sharks. That year, we swam in the city championship, and came in third place in the city. I share that story often because it's one of my proudest moments in my career. But I would say that comes second to today. Because today, with all of you all in attendance, and the many of you in your positions of leadership and influence, and with our mayor, and with Pedro Cruz taking on this leadership role, we are in first place. Now, over the years, Pedro became a mentee of mine and developed his own career as a youth worker. And like so many of us in this room, that journey started with a positive relationship with a caring adult in a community space, such as this community center, where that relationship could take root. And for my village, and as many of you have given me grace and guidance, I kindly ask that you extend that to Pedro, to support him as he builds relationships and partnerships so he is successful to carry on the work. I thank each and every one of you for being here, for all the work that you do, and for your ongoing commitment to supporting and uplifting the young people in our city. Now with that, it is my pleasure to invite Pedro Cruz to say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen.
How's everybody doing today? Let's make it a little bit more. Come on, it's a youth day. How's everybody doing today? I like that. I like that. First of all, I want to say thank you to Mayor Wu. I appreciate the investment, not in me, but in them. I want to thank Chief Jose Maso for this opportunity and for being such a mentor since I was a child. Appreciate that, and thank you to everybody for being here present. It feels more like a reunion to me, just seeing a lot of people in the crowd that helped me when I was sitting in that chair. Often, I know a lot of us here, when we hear the term he or she or they are a product of the environment, we hear it in a negative term. It's usually used in a negative term. Well, I'm here to change that today. For those who don't know me, my name is Pedro Cruz, and I am a product of my environment. I say this because 36 years ago in 1987, my parents, don't do the math, my parents, like many others before them, moved to Boston, searching for a better future, more opportunities. They left their home behind. They made sacrifices, all for their children. They settled in Jamaica Plain at that time. I was born the following year. My parents enrolled me in Boston Public Schools. That's where I would get my education. That's where they would depend for me to get my education. In the early 90s, they moved to the Villa Victoria. And they were welcome into that community, and that's where they would find housing, but community. And that part is key to my story, because as a Puerto Rican family, that's where I would get rooted in my culture, even being miles away. In 2000, I was introduced to the Boston Community Center. I was diagnosed with chronic asthma, and the doctor recommended that my mother put me into swimming. So she did what any other parent would do, and she leaned on community organizations. We were just a block away, so it only made sense I come here to swim. By doing that, that's where I would first cross paths with Chief Jose Maso, which back then was Coach Jose. And just for the record, he had braids back then. I gotta say that now before he becomes my boss. Shortly after that, I was introduced. Shortly after that, I got my first summer job. So I swam here. I was part of the swim team, and I grew up in these halls. Literally ran through these halls. I got in trouble in these halls. But by the time I was old enough to work, at 14 years old, I got my first job here as a lifeguard intern in the pool about 3-4 floors down. That's the same program that we know today as Success Link. I'm not even sure if it was called back then, or if maybe it was called the same thing. But that's where I would start my journey, literally, with what would become my career. The school year right after that summer, I would get my second youth job at Inquilinos Boricuas en Accion's youth development program, which back then was known as Cacique. And this was important to me, and it was crucial to mention, because for the next 3 to 4 years, from 14 to 18 years old, that became a routine for me. I would work every summer in the Blackstone at the pool, because it made sense around the water. And then every school year, I would go back to IBA's youth development program, and I did that for 4 years, up until I hit 18 years old. And that's how I was able to learn and really fall in love with community work. Those years were crucial to me for my own personal development and really set the foundation for my life's work. Since then, I've worked for the past 15 years of my life with youth and community, everywhere from community centers, Boston Public Schools, nonprofits, and now doing a full circle back with the city. I break this timeline down because I think it's important for people to understand that I am a prime example of what happens when a city welcomes a family, provides them with services, housing, education, opportunities for the youth, and years later, I'm calling this my home. I am what we mean when we say it takes a village. I am what we mean when we say that youths are a product of the environment. In my new role as director of the Mayor's Office for Youth Engagement and Advancement, I promise to do everything in my power and my knowledge and with all my energy to make sure that the youth in this city have the same opportunities and access to resources the same way that I did, because it's truly life-changing. I will be their voice, and I will be their advocate. I will be their example, and I will be their proof. We've all heard that the youth are the future of tomorrow. My life is evidence that that statement is true. Yesterday, I was the future of today, but today, these youths are the future of tomorrow. So with that, I just want to thank everybody that made this possible, whether it was helping my parents raise me, because that's what it was. I was not only raised in my household, but I was raised at the Blackstone. I was raised at EBA. I was raised in BPS. So I thank everybody that played a role in my upbringing. And I encourage everybody in this room to please, let's sit down, let's talk, let's work, because there's work to be done. Today is just the first day of the job starting. That's for you, because there's work to be done. There's lives to change. There's kids that need us. So with that, I just want to say and extend one big thank you to everybody in this space, everybody that's hearing my words, and just know that I truly appreciate this opportunity, and it's really a celebration for me. And now with that, I'll wrap up the program and would like to turn it over to Superintendent Mary Skipper to say a few words, but thank you.
Good morning. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to Principal Daniels. This takes so much to pull together in a school, and the Blackstone students that are here and representing the rest of the Blackstone, just big support and applause, and thank you for your work. I keep having to pinch myself every time I come to these events, because what they all have in common is a mayor who is really committed to our young people, to making sure that you have everything you need to succeed. And she's doing it in a way that she's reuniting the village. And that's what Pedro talked about, how at each step it takes all of the partners together. And so some of the funding that's going to happen today to bring partners to the table, when I look at the partners that are here, I've had the pleasure of working with all of them, the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, Right Boston, there's United Way, there's just so many of them. And what they all have in common is that they're about our young people. They're about making sure that our students have what they need. And then when you add to that the cabinet that I have the privilege to be a part of, and to think of just the collective work of our counselors, our mayor, and that cabinet, I don't see how we can't make this city the absolute best city to grow up in for our students. What I think is a little different for our students, and I want the students to hear this. So the OYEA, right? OYEA. The reason that this is being created is for you. It's for your voice. It's to hear what you need, what you want, what your dreams are. That's why this initiative's here. That's the vision of the mayor. That's the vision of Chief Masso. That's the vision of Pedro. And so all of this is coming to find out through surveying, through doing a summit, a youth summit, where our youth of our city can come together and talk about that. There's such a power because you are the future of this city. I'd like all the adults to do something for the students. If you care and want to see this group of students and all the students in our city, clap once. Again. Again. Students, hear that. All of these adults are here for you. They want you to succeed, meet everybody that's here, and especially our mayor. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to our mayor for your vision, and for more than just vision, for putting the resource behind it, and for everybody that's been able to make today possible. Thank you.
So I'm just going to close it out and once again thank all of our partners, our mayor, our chief, and all of the cabinet members that are here with us today. So, and students, thank you so much. I'm sorry, so we have a Q&A with the students. I understand some questions. Can I ask Principal?
My name is Amara, and I'm in 5th grade, and I wanted to know if the money's going to help fix the pool.
Thank you so much, Mara. We know that the pool here has been closed for a number of years, and every day that it has been not there for the next Pedro, the next Jose, is a cost to our city. We are going to make sure that the funding that we have as a city, not just for this office, but for the buildings that we're building, our school buildings, libraries, community centers, that all fits together. And we know that that's all necessary, a part of what you all need. And so this office is going to focus on the programming, the survey, and understanding how we can make decisions that are really following your vision. And we have other projects like our Green New Deal for Boston that's going to make sure we have the facilities that we need across every neighborhood. One other initiative, I don't know if Chief Musso wants to add more on this piece, or Commissioner Rivera, but sometimes we have to do things right now that might not feel like they're making a big splash, let's say. Otherwise, far down the line, we're going to have to pay for it, right? The fact that the pool is closed now is because we as a city didn't have the funds or didn't make the choice to put the funds into maintaining and fixing things up every single year. We need to do things a little bit differently right now. And what I tell my kids sometimes is, if you don't clean the room right now, you're going to have to do it at some point later on. And so that's kind of what we have to do in the city, is all of our buildings need little bits of cleanup along the way. It might be new paint, it might be fixing the heating system or the walls or the foundation or something else. We have to be pushing ourselves to plan for that 50 years down in the future, where we can build new buildings now. We're going to build a new community center in Grove Hall. We just made an announcement about the North End. We're thinking about how we fix our pools across the entire city. But it all has to be about how we, when it comes time when none of us are standing up here in these roles and you all are standing up here instead of us, that we have maintained and put in the little details all along the way to fix up the things so that they can last, and that there's a plan to keep that going and going and going, instead of waiting until the next time that we need to figure out how to fix something that totally broke down. And so that's a really important part of what we're doing. We'll have a facilities plan completed for all of our Boston Center for Youth and Families facilities, including our pools, by the end of, is it this calendar year or this fiscal year? By the end of this fiscal year, meaning about a few months from now. And then once we have that plan, we know exactly how much we'll need to spend on different things like pools or buildings or libraries and schools, so that we can have the most up-to-date facilities and spaces for you all to grow in. Okay. Any other questions? Come on up.
What does the mayor do for her routine in the day? My name is also Kale Medina.
I ask myself that question every day as well. What do I do? So it's really the most fun part of this job is that everything that happens in the city, everything that you could possibly think about making a little bit better for a family in Boston or a neighborhood or a community, we have the chance to work with the team to actually make that happen. And that makes it really hard because there's so much to do, and so every day is really different. And the truth is, really just show up on the places where my team says are the most important to go every day. But we have a process where we talk about it, we plan it out, and we need to make sure that we are prioritizing what we can do now for our young people, so that if we start this office now, then in a couple months in the summer or when it makes sense, then we can have a youth summit, but we kind of have to all plan that ahead of time. We need to plan out where our seniors are going to go, and our commissioner for Age Strong, Commissioner Shea, has opened a new senior center as well, and I'll go and do a similar kind of announcement with our seniors or other parts of our community. It can be really early days, it could be really late nights, but I am also the first mayor in a little bit of time in the city to have kids who are at home as well, who definitely need me there as well. My kids are 5 and 8 now, and so a lot of my day is also making lunches and doing laundry and making sure that I can see what young people in our city need from morning until night. And most of all, I get the chance to spend time with the most amazing people in the world, our Boston residents and families. So I'm really happy that I got to spend a little time with you today. And whenever you are ready to really see what a whole day looks like as a mayor, or I'm sure as any of these other leadership positions, let us know. You can come intern in City Hall when you're ready. You can come shadow us for a day. Come visit me in City Hall, and then you'll get to see a little bit more of what I do too.
Okay, we have one more.
My name is Yari. I'm in 3rd grade, and I wanted to know, how do you help kids get to after-school programs? Like how to get there on buses and things, or how to...
Okay, thank you. That's a really good question. And after-school programs is one thing that we have heard over and over and over again. Superintendent Skipper and many other members of our cabinet have spent time in schools as well, just saying, what do you all need? What do our students need right now? It's been a while where there were several years where people were at home for school or home and school. It's just been different for a long time. There's been a lot of different things happening in the world and in our families. And throughout that pandemic, one thing that has been harder and harder is many of our community partners were adjusting, and after-school programs that used to be there to focus on bringing students in were all of a sudden delivering food instead, or having to close their doors because it wasn't safe all the time during the pandemic. And so we have to really build up that muscle, as the superintendent said, bring everyone in the village back to the same central meeting point, so we all know we're on the same page. Our partners here represent the best community organizations anywhere in the country here in Boston. They've been leading the way, and we need to make sure that from the Boston Public Schools, from the Center for Youth and Families, from every possible angle that we can connect in all the programming. And I would add jobs and internships and our summer jobs program to that as well, that we can just make sure you know what the options are, that you don't have to fill out so many pieces of paper and go through a lot of stress and different documents to get into those programs. You have a lot of choices available, and then you can actually get there, whether it's right nearby your school, so you don't have to go very far, or nearby your house, or we have transportation back and forth. And so that's something that we are looking to do. A big focus of mine is going to be making sure that arts and sports, youth sports and arts, get the full amount of coordination and resources in the city. We have some exciting planning that's happening alongside our business community with the Boston Public Schools and with some of our partners in the sports and youth sports field. So there's a lot more coming on that front. But if you have ideas on what after-school programs you would like to see, or how we could make it easier for you to get there, please come up to me afterwards, right after this, and let me know, because we're working on that right now. Okay, one more.
Mi nombre es Manuel y yo quiero preguntar por qué hacen todo esto por los adolescentes.
Adolescentes, ok, muy importante, ok. Gracias. La pregunta es sobre el futuro y programas para los adolescentes en específico. Es una pregunta muy importante y una población que es el foco de muchas de nuestras esfuerzos, porque en Boston hay muchas organizaciones y recursos y programas para los jóvenes muy jóvenes, de kindergarten de fifth grade o 11 años, y hay programas para los adultos de 24 y más. Es muy importante para los adolescentes, los miembros de nuestra comunidad, que muy temprano será los líderes, los empleos, los miembros de familias que necesitan no solamente programas, pero con mucha frecuencia salario, el trabajo también, con un parte de nuestra familia que es parte de los recursos para la familia también. Entonces, hay muchos programas para conectar todas las organizaciones, y también el fondo que han creado para el desarrollo de relaciones y programas con estas organizaciones es un parte importante de esta relación también. Para mí, los adolescentes es nuestros líderes ahora, no solamente en el futuro. Entonces es muy importante de crear un espacio para ustedes ahora y ustedes en unos años como adolescentes y como los mentores de otros jóvenes también. Entonces, gracias para esta pregunta. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. We're so excited for the work ahead. If any of our students want to come down and we can take a big picture with anyone who wants to, or any of our other partners, we want to remember this moment too.